There is a quiet power within you, a power that does not struggle, does not force, and does not chase. It simply knows. And today, I invite you to step into that knowing. You have been taught to hustle, to push, to control every outcome. But what if I told you the more you try to force life, the more it slips through your fingers? Relax, because everything you desire is not outside of you, it is already within you, waiting for your acceptance. Close your eyes for a moment and feel this truth. What you seek is already yours. The life you dream of, the success, the love, the abundance. It is not something you need to create from nothing. It already exists in a deeper dimension of reality. Your only role is to align with it, to become aware of it. Relaxation is not weakness. It is alignment with the deeper intelligence that governs all creation. Most people have been conditioned to believe that effort, struggle, and constant control are the only ways to achieve success. They push harder, think more, worry endlessly, and try to force outcomes into existence. Yet, the more they try to control everything, the more resistance they create within themselves. This resistance shows up as stress, doubt, fear, and impatience, and it blocks the very things they are trying so hard to receive. True manifestation does not come from tension, it comes from a state of calm certainty. When you relax, you are not giving up on your desires, you are releasing the inner conflict that keeps them away. When you stop forcing, you step out of the mindset of lack. Forcing implies that something is missing, that it is not here yet, that you must struggle to bring it into your life. This feeling of not having sends a powerful signal, and life responds by reflecting more situations that confirm that lack. But the moment you relax, something shifts within you. You are no longer chasing, you are allowing. You are no longer desperate, you are trusting. And in that trust, you begin to feel whole, even before the physical evidence appears. This feeling of inner completeness is what opens the door for manifestation to unfold naturally. Trusting is the bridge between desire and reality. It is the quiet confidence that what you want is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it. Trust does not demand proof, it simply knows. When you trust, you stop asking anxious questions like, "How will this happen?" or "What if it never comes?" Those questions only reinforce doubt and delay the process. Instead, trust allows you to remain steady, grounded, and open. It creates a sense of peace that replaces urgency. And it is from this peaceful state that your desires begin to take shape in the external world. As you relax and trust, you remove resistance. And resistance is the only thing that ever stands between you and what you want. Resistance is not the absence of opportunity, it is the presence of inner conflict. It is the tension between wanting something and believing you cannot have it. When you let go of that tension, you stop blocking the natural flow of life. Think of it like a river. When there are obstacles in its path, the water struggles to move freely. But when those obstacles are removed, the river flows effortlessly. In the same way, your desires are always trying to move toward you, but your doubts and fears act as barriers. Relaxation clears those barriers. Allowing things to flow naturally does not mean doing nothing. It means acting without strain, moving without fear, and living without constant worry. It means trusting that every step you take is guided, even if you cannot see the full picture. When you are in a relaxed state, your actions become more inspired, your decisions become clearer, and your energy becomes more attractive. You are no longer reacting to life from a place of pressure. You are responding from a place of confidence and ease. In this state, life begins to surprise you. Opportunities appear unexpectedly, The right people come into your path, and situations begin to align in ways you could not have planned. What once felt difficult starts to feel effortless. This is not coincidence. It is the result of releasing resistance and allowing life to work with you instead of against you. When you truly understand this, you no longer feel the need to chase anything. You realize that what is meant for you is already moving toward you. Your only role is to remain open, calm, and aligned. And in that relaxed state, you become a magnet for everything you desire. What you desire is not something distant or separate from you. It is already a part of your inner world, waiting to be recognized and accepted. Most people are conditioned to believe that their dreams exist somewhere out there, far beyond their reach, requiring time, effort, and external validation to become real. But this way of thinking creates a sense of separation, as if you are here and your desires are somewhere else. The truth is far more powerful and liberating. The moment a desire is born within you, it carries with it the reality of its fulfillment. It exists in a deeper dimension of your being, and your role is not to chase it, but to align yourself with it. This deeper reality is not bound by physical limitations or linear time. It is a realm of imagination awareness and consciousness where everything already exists in its complete form. When you imagine something vividly, when you feel it as if it were real, you are not creating fantasy, you are connecting with a version of reality that already exists. Your imagination is not just a tool for thinking, it is a gateway to experience what is already yours on a deeper level. The challenge is that most people dismiss this inner experience because they cannot immediately see it reflected in the external world. They doubt it, question it, and eventually disconnect from it. But the outer world is always a delayed reflection of the inner state. What you persistently feel and accept within will eventually express itself without. Alignment then becomes the key. To align with your desire means to bring your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs into harmony with the reality of already having it. It is not about forcing yourself to believe something unreal. It is about gently shifting your awareness until it feels natural. When you align, you no longer feel like someone who is trying to get something, you feel like someone who already has it. This shift may seem subtle, but it changes everything. Your energy becomes different, your reactions change, and your perception of the world transforms. You begin to notice opportunities, connections, and ideas that were always there but previously invisible to you. The reason alignment is so powerful is because life does not respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you feel to be true. If you constantly feel that something is missing, life reflects more situations that reinforce that feeling. But when you feel fulfilled within, even before external proof appears, you send a completely different signal. You are no longer asking, hoping, or waiting, you are embodying. And from that state, reality begins to organize itself around your inner conviction. It is important to understand that alignment does not require perfection. You do not need to eliminate every doubt or maintain a constant state of positivity. What matters is your dominant state, the overall feeling you return to again and again. Each time you choose to feel as though your desire is already a part of your life, you strengthen that inner reality. Over time, it becomes more natural, more believable, and more stable. And as it solidifies within you, it must eventually take form in your external experience. There is also a deep sense of peace that comes with this understanding. When you realize that your desire already exists within you, the urgency to chase it begins to fade. You are no longer dependent on external circumstances to feel complete. Instead, you carry that sense of fulfillment within you, regardless of what is happening around you. This inner stability is what allows manifestation to unfold effortlessly. You are not trying to make something happen, you are allowing what already exists to reveal itself. In this way, your life becomes less about striving and more about remembering. You are not creating something from nothing, you are recognizing and accepting what has always been yours. The moment you truly embrace this, you stop looking outside for validation and start trusting your inner experience. And as you continue to align with that deeper reality, you will find that what once felt distant and impossible begins to appear in your life with surprising ease. It was never separate from you. It was simply waiting for you to see it, feel it, and claim it as your own. To feel it as already done is to step beyond the illusion of waiting and enter the reality of having. Most people live in a constant state of anticipation, believing that fulfillment will come only after they see physical proof. They say, I will feel happy when it happens, or I will believe it when I see it. But this way of thinking keeps the desire always just out of reach, because it places fulfillment in the future instead of embodying it in the present. The truth is, manifestation does not begin with evidence, it begins with identity. The moment you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you shift from wanting to having, and that shift changes everything. Thinking as if it is already done means you no longer entertain thoughts of lack, doubt, or delay. You begin to naturally think from the perspective of the person who already has what you desire. Your inner dialogue changes. Instead of asking, when will it happen? You find yourself thinking, this is already mine. Instead of worrying about obstacles, you feel a quiet confidence that everything is unfolding perfectly. This is not about pretending or forcing positive thoughts. It is about gently redirecting your awareness until it becomes natural to think in alignment with your desired reality. Your thoughts become less about chasing something and more about living in the experience of already having it. Feeling it as done goes even deeper because emotion is the language through which your inner state communicates with the outer world. You can repeat affirmations all day, but if your feelings are rooted in doubt or lack, those feelings will dominate your experience. To truly feel it as done, you must allow yourself to experience the emotions you would naturally feel if your desire were already a reality. If it is success you seek, feel the confidence and pride that comes with it. If it is love, feel the warmth, security, and joy as if that connection already exists. These emotions are not dependent on external circumstances, they are generated from within. And when you consistently return to these feelings, they become your new normal. Acting as if it is already done does not mean making unrealistic or reckless decisions. It means aligning your behavior with your inner state. The way you carry yourself, the choices you make, and the energy you bring into your daily life all begin to reflect the version of you who already has what you desire. You no longer act from desperation or fear. You do not chase validation or overcompensate for perceived lack. Instead, there is a sense of calm assurance in everything you do. Your actions become more intentional, more confident, and more aligned. You naturally move in ways that support your desired reality because you are no longer trying to get there. You are living from it. This shift from waiting to embodying dissolves the need for constant checking and searching for signs. When you truly feel it as done, you are not looking for proof because you already feel fulfilled. The absence of physical evidence no longer disturbs you because your inner state is stable. This is where true power lies, not in controlling the outer world, but in mastering your inner experience. The outer world must eventually reflect what you consistently feel within, but it does so in its own time and way. Your role is not to force the outcome, but to remain faithful to the feeling. At first, this may require conscious effort. You may need to remind yourself to redirect your thoughts and to return to the feeling again and again. But with persistence, it becomes easier. The feeling begins to take root, and what once felt like an act becomes your natural state of being. You start to notice that you are less reactive to external circumstances and more grounded in your inner reality. And as this inner stability grows, the external world begins to shift in response. Living as if it is already done is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing a deeper reality that is not yet visible. It is about trusting that what you feel within is more real than what you temporarily see without. When you fully embrace this, you no longer feel like someone who is waiting for life to change. You become the one who has already changed, and from that change, everything else follows. What you once desired begins to appear, not as a surprise, but as a natural extension of who you have already become. Your life is not shaped solely by the actions you take, but by the state of being from which those actions arise. Most people focus entirely on doing, working harder, trying more, pushing themselves to achieve specific outcomes, believing that effort alone is what creates results. But two people can take the same action and receive completely different outcomes because the energy, belief, and identity behind those actions are not the same. This is why your state matters more than anything else. Your state is the combination of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and self perception. It is the invisible foundation from which your entire reality is formed. Life reflects who you are being at a much deeper level than what you are simply doing on the surface. If you act with doubt, even your best efforts will carry that uncertainty, and the results will often mirror it. If you act with confidence, even small steps can create powerful outcomes. This is because the outer world responds not just to your behavior, but to the frequency of your inner state. When you consistently feel worthy, capable, and secure, life begins to align with that identity. Opportunities appear that match your confidence. People respond to you differently, and situations begin to unfold in your favor. It is not coincidence, it is reflection. Becoming the version of yourself who already has what you desire is the true shift that changes everything. It is not about waiting for external success to define you, it is about deciding internally who you are right now. If you desire abundance, you must begin to see yourself as someone who is already abundant, not just financially, but in mindset and energy. If you desire love, you must embody the qualities of someone who is already loved and valued. This does not mean pretending or denying your current circumstances. It means choosing a new identity that is not limited by them. Your identity shapes your perception, and your perception shapes your experience. When you see yourself as lacking, you notice more reasons to feel that lack. When you see yourself as empowered, you begin to notice possibilities that were always there but previously overlooked. This shift in awareness is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. It changes the way you interpret events, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you move through life. You are no longer reacting from an old, limited version of yourself. You are responding from a new, expanded one. It is important to understand that this transformation begins within. You cannot wait for the world to confirm your new identity before you accept it. If you do, you remain dependent on external validation and your state will constantly fluctuate. Instead, you must choose your state deliberately. You must feel it, think from it, and return to it, even when the outer world seems unchanged. This is where consistency becomes powerful. The more you dwell in your chosen state, the more natural it becomes, and the less effort it requires to maintain. As your state stabilizes, your actions begin to reflect it automatically. You do not have to force yourself to behave differently, it becomes a natural expression of who you are. Your decisions become clearer, your confidence grows, and your energy shifts. You begin to take actions that align with your desired reality, not because you are trying to fix your life, but because you are living from a new identity. And from this place, your actions carry a different weight. They are no longer driven by fear or lack, but by certainty and alignment. Over time, the outer world begins to mirror this inner change. Situations that once felt difficult may begin to resolve themselves. New opportunities may arise, and relationships may shift. What once seemed out of reach starts to feel attainable, and eventually it becomes your reality. This is not because you forced it to happen, but because you became the person for whom it is natural. When you truly understand that your state creates your reality, you stop focusing on controlling every external detail. Instead, you focus on mastering your inner world. You realize that by changing who you are being, you change everything you experience. And in that realization, you reclaim your power, not as someone who struggles to shape life, but as someone who naturally influences it by simply becoming the version of yourself who already has it. There is a quiet freedom that comes when you release the need to control every detail of your life. Most people spend their days trying to figure everything out: how it will happen, when it will happen, what steps must be taken, and what could possibly go wrong. This constant need for control creates tension in the mind and restlessness in the heart. It comes from the belief that if you don't manage every outcome, things will fall apart. But in truth, this attachment to control is what blocks the natural flow of life. It keeps you stuck in overthinking, doubt, and fear, preventing you from experiencing the ease that comes with true trust. When you worry about how, you limit the infinite ways your desire can come into your life. The mind can only see based on past experiences and current circumstances, but life operates on a much larger scale. There are possibilities, connections, and opportunities unfolding beyond what you can currently imagine. By trying to control the process, you unknowingly close yourself off to these unseen pathways. You reduce something limitless into something narrow and predictable. Letting go of the how does not mean you stop taking action. It means you stop trying to dictate every step and allow life to guide you in ways you may not have considered. Worrying about when creates a similar kind of resistance. It places your desire in a constant state of delay, reinforcing the feeling that it is not here yet. This focus on time keeps you trapped in waiting, always looking ahead, never feeling fulfilled in the present moment. But manifestation does not respond to your impatience, it responds to your state. When you are constantly checking the clock, wondering when things will change, you are affirming that nothing has changed yet. This only prolongs the experience of waiting. When you release the need to know when, you free yourself from the pressure of time and allow things to unfold at the perfect moment. Trust is the bridge that allows you to let go of both how and when. It is a deep inner knowing that What you desire is already moving toward you, even if you cannot yet see it. Trust does not need evidence, it is not dependent on external confirmation. It is a quiet certainty that remains steady regardless of circumstances. When you trust, your mind becomes calmer, your body relaxes, and your energy shifts from tension to openness. You are no longer trying to force life to happen, you are allowing it to unfold. Letting go of control also means releasing the fear of things not working out. This fear is often what drives the need to control in the first place. But the more you hold on to this fear, the more it influences your thoughts and actions. It creates hesitation, second guessing, and unnecessary stress. When you let go, you are not becoming careless, you are choosing to believe that life is working in your favor. You are choosing to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as space for something greater to emerge. As you begin to trust the process, you may notice subtle changes within yourself. You feel less anxious, less rushed, and more at peace with where you are. You stop trying to force outcomes and start noticing how things naturally begin to align. Opportunities may come unexpectedly, solutions may appear without struggle, and situations may resolve themselves in ways you did not anticipate. These are not coincidences. They are the result of allowing life to move freely without resistance. Trusting the process does not mean everything will happen instantly or exactly as you imagined. It means understanding that there is a bigger picture unfolding, one that you may not fully see yet. Sometimes delays are part of alignment, and sometimes things unfold differently because something better is on its way. When you trust, you stop labeling things as good or bad too quickly. You remain open, knowing that everything is leading you closer to what you desire. In this state of trust, you begin to live with a sense of calm confidence. You no longer feel the need to chase or control. You move through life with ease, knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. And as you continue to let go, you create space for your desires to arrive naturally, effortlessly, and at the perfect time. What you once tried so hard to control begins to flow into your life with a sense of grace, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply trust and allow. In the end, everything comes down to this simple truth: you are not here to chase your desires, but to align with them. When you relax, trust, and let go of control, you step out of struggle and into flow. What you seek is not separate from you, it already exists within, waiting for your acceptance. By feeling it as already done and becoming the version of yourself who has it, you shift your entire reality from within. Life begins to reflect your inner state, not your effort or force. The more you trust the process and release the need to control how and when, the more naturally everything unfolds. There is a quiet power in surrender, a strength in stillness, and a certainty in belief. When you embrace this, you realize that nothing is truly out of reach. Everything you desire is already on its way to you. Just relax, allow, and let it happen.